When students travel abroad and they study, yeah, they could go either way. One is the partying side, one is they'll be okay. But the thing is, I know some friends who have left their families and they went and lived abroad, but they're fine. They're totally fine. At the end of the day, it kind of boils down to the person itself, really, what their heart is leaning towards. I also feel that environment is important too, to help focus on making sure that they do well in their studies or they don't get mixed up with the wrong groups. I think that's very important. And of course, Islamic foundation, I really feel. I think that if from a young age a person has been praying, has been doing that quite consistently, that might help as well.
Prophet ﷺ, he tells us that people are mirrors in life, and you're my mirror, I'm the brother's mirror, where we reflect each other, and those who are brought together in circles of influence with each other, it's not coincidental.
Okay.
People will come and enter in and out of our life at random, but those who we choose to keep there has to be reasons for that.
We need to be more cautious about the people we choose to keep in our lives.
Yeah, not just who
not just
are
be friends
there.
with everyone.
Yeah, look, there's different levels to friendship. In the Quran, there's 16 different words that talk about friends. There's sahib and sadiq and wali and hamim and different kind of circles of influence. And we can't really, it's unjust to treat everyone in the same way. Some people are just an acquaintance, some are a colleague, some are a friend, some are a
bestie, a BFF.
Yeah, a BFF, right?
Yes.
So there's all those different categorizations and levels.
Okay, speaking about friends, what about our surroundings, environment? Would that also help us in navigating ourselves and our hearts in staying on the straight path?
Absolutely. It's one of the reasons the Prophet ﷺ says that the masajid are the places where Allah loves to see people. Whenever your heart is attached to a masjid, you increase your likelihood of salvation. The Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith of the 7 who will be saved on the Day of Judgment, when no one will receive what they receive of that protection in the shade of Allah, is an individual qalbuhu mu'allaqun bil masajid. Their heart is attached to the masjid. And each and every one of us, we should have that sweet spot in a particular masjid. You can think of a masjid that you're from back home. That's your place, that's where you want to be, and that's important. So the masjid is a very important indicator in that sense. Second to the masjid is the choices of where not to be.
Not to be,
and
okay.
the Prophet warns us about where we let our feet carry us.
All right.
That our feet, may Allah protect us, can be a reason for zina. The Prophet doesn't discuss sexual misconduct just on its own, but he says the eyes and the ears and the mouth and even the feet that carry a person to that place are all counted in that sense.
Right, so we really need to take care of, really lower our gaze, what we listen to, where we go, to avoid these kinds of gray areas, I suppose.
One of the most powerful examples was given by the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, in the time before you, there was a man who killed 99 people. People were shocked. And this man came to a person, a worshipper of God, a really good person, religious person, and said, listen, I killed 99 people. Do I have any hope of repentance? Can God forgive me? The man said, no, you killed 99 people. What's wrong with you? So the man killed him and made it 100, because what you got to lose at that stage, right? If I have no hope. And as he left after killing that man, he met not just a worshipper, a good person, but he met a scholar. And he said, listen, I killed 100 people. You think I got a chance of repentance? He said, who could ever stop you and bar God from forgiving you? What would ever make you think that you don't have a standing? But the problem with you is you've kept yourself in a society that sees you in this negative light. Why don't you travel somewhere else and begin new? And the man in his heart, he took those words to heart and he said, yes, that's what I'm going to do. And he began his journey, and nearly halfway there, he's almost exactly halfway there, just one footstep, he dies. And the angels of punishment descend and the angels of mercy descend. They're going to fight over his soul. And they said, look, he's closer, he's changed his life, he's on his way to redemption. The other said, yeah, but he's a footstep too short. He didn't make it even halfway. And Allah sends an angel to decide between them. And when Jibreel descends, he descends on the ground so hard that the body flips over. So he becomes closer to the city of his repentance than he was to the city of where he lived in sin. And the judgment is, no, Allah's mercy has come for this man and he's forgiven. Now there's a lot of lessons that can be taken from this, but I only want to dwell on one point. That if you make a change, even if you don't get there, Allah knows what's in your heart. And you know, one sister, she said, Sheikh, I've missed so many salah for maybe 10 years. I never prayed when I was younger. I've missed 10 years of salah. I don't think I'll ever make it up. I said, just make your intention that you intend to make it up and do the best you can to make up whatever you can of your prayers. And even if you never reach there, Allah knows your niyyah. Allah knows what you want and Allah knows the good that you seek. Don't ever, ever think that the door to Allah is ever closed.
It felt really surreal going back to the places I used to go to when I was a student in Perth. And spending time with Sheikh taught me so much about the importance of our surroundings and the people we choose in our lives. Today was a pretty magnificent day. Catching up with Amy and spending time with Sheikh really brought back some bittersweet memories.